adjusted for everyone as now we have ourselves a 2v2. Look at the comeback coming from Columbia College as they force their way onto the C site after the retake. And now only one player remains until there are none. And if I'm not mistaken, round one goes the way of the Ottawa Braves.
Indeed, legend maintains. I think, you know what? Wait, hold on. Reading these names.
It's hard to tell because they both say Columbia.
I'm going to go off on a whim, and I'm going to check these guys' histories because I do need to do my research. I think the offense
the red is Columbia College. Red
right?
is Columbia.
CC, I think. So I think we can safely say they're Columbia.
Okay,
I hope.
Yeah, so Columbia College take round one. There we go.
Yes, indeed. And just barely even at that reconduct forcing out a couple peaks, but even still working out for the offense. And they're going to go for a hard bonus here. Look at that Sheriff on the Sova going into Dinger, who also has a sidearm, but it's good that he drones for the Omen. There's a trade back, but only one so far.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, the offense is just looking oh so good for Columbia College. Granted that it is the second round, you know, they were able to buy up a little bit here. So, of course, naturally, they're going to have an advantage. But just from their presence over there on the C site, you know, for the first round just shows how aggressive they plan to be here on Haven. As now the spike is continuing to take away. And it looks like the Ottawa Braves aren't going to be able to amount much of a retake as the last player from Ottawa will go down and Columbia College go up 2-0.
Cleaning up, keeping 4 alive in the second round. Great bonus for them, and they're going to have a decent one coming into this third. It seems like Columbia should end up buying up full rifles here. Everyone's got nice and tidy Vandals for across the board for everyone so far. The Breach even investing in full armor, everyone else being at half. That might come back to bite them in the butt because of the fact that Columbia is running a bonus. Not exactly the round you want to be doing the Fnatic strat in, but they're going to get what they can afford because, yeah, none of them are too healthy in that economy. So we're going to go into this one with a lot of weaker weapons on Columbia, but if they can land these headshots, it might make a difference. Another C-side aggression right in the garage. Goes the Breach for the entry, and actually Jet dashes for the weapon, and all of a sudden the Astra is last alive on the C-site. Paranoid, and you can't see a thing.
Not bad at all. That was great entry coming from the Breach in order to get that first pick, and then all of a sudden you have a Jet with a Vandal. Again, that was a great swing coming from that initial push, and once again, it's the C site. They have taken full control, and then this is shaping up to be quite the bonus round, but hold on, a two-player swing going into C main does go into the favor of Columbia College, or rather, you can see now it's down to a 2v1, but it will be Columbia to seal the deal. And now they will get the bonus round, and to the victor go the spoils.
Yeah, attacking Sova, playing that perfectly as well, just with that drone baiting for both of his teammates, and it was great reactions by the Breach to be able to get that kill towards the default position, but no idea that he was getting flanked that entire time, and Carnage cleans that one up. And that is a bonus, actually, for Ottawa with the low buy. And yet again, mentioning the fact that the low armors on the side of Columbia College might actually come back to bite them, and it ended up doing so. They lost one in Garage, and the fast C take from the entirety of Ottawa with that Omen Blind, with the aggression that they can pull out, with all the utility that they have, proves to be fruitful, and now they go on with a massive advantage, likely going to be 4-0 up with the Sheriffs on the side of Columbia. But we'll have to see. Or excuse me, is that even right now?
That's what I was getting ready to. That's what I was getting to interject with. Like, does CC not stand for Columbia College? Is this a debate? I feel like I'm being gaslit right now because the overlays are there, you know, and that's what I thought because you know during the pre-show, you know, we had Ottawa on the right and then Columbia College on the left. But there we go. Now we got them the right way forward, and it is going to be a 2v1 now for Columbia College. Make it a 1v1. As you can see, Calvin going to be working from it right outside of the smoke there in B main. They had the spike in hand. Silva's going to go for a long rotation, and this should give them plenty of time to plan if they want to. I mean, neither of them know. They don't know where this Sova is. They have no idea.
Yeah, the timing that he's playing with right now, Jinger just wants to play and spawn and listen to wherever the spike goes. The thing is, he's choosing the wrong site right now, and Columbia have read this perfectly. Look at him, he's going towards this A, and yeah, he's far enough away that he's never going to hear this spike even start to get planted, planning for the middle of nowhere. So he could go short, he could play long, he could even TP back a bit into heaven if he has one, but he decides to choose one of the former. And the time it takes for the Sova to even run over, at this point, because it is an Omen, You have no idea where he's went. This is going to be a disaster coming out from Ottawa if they can't manage to win this. And it might have been an eco round, but it is one that they had no business winning. And to bring it so close, but even to lose would be so far. And the longer the Sova takes to check every single angle, I'm glad he's being thorough, but the time is what Calvin's playing with.
And you can see they're almost getting to half. They do get it to half, and now here comes the peekaboo game, but it's not going to be enough to get the elim onto Calvin, as they will find the final elimination onto Sova. And now Columbia College go up 4-0. But I got to say, for that being an eco round for Ottawa University, they did make it very expensive for Columbia College. They took out 4 of their agents, so that's going to be 4 full rebuys they have to go in with going into the next round.
Yeah, that is so important for the side of Ottawa, because look at Columbia's money, right? Because they've won those first 4 rounds in a row, or excuse me, yeah, no, 4 rounds in a row, and it's gonna be the situation, whatever happens, that you're gonna be building up that bank economy, because you have so many rounds in your pocket. So Ottawa just need to keep them honest as much as they can and take as many lives as possible, even if they are losing the round. So that was, other than winning, that was best case scenario. Now they need to try and actually get one here. Flow with an entry denial. No one else can get in other than that one Jet jashing to the top of site, but he does take a lot of damage from that Sova ultimate. Oh! Pulling out the Aftershock at the wrong time. And Jet catches him. Can he catch any more? Yeah, the Sova's dead. And he wants to go for a third.
Let's see if they can get it. And let's take a look at this. Through the smoke, and finally the final will fall, as that will be a flawless victory coming out from Columbia College. And again, if I'm not mistaken, that was a bye round coming from Ottawa University, right? Like I feel like they had, you know, a better showing, and yet they came up short.
Yeah, that one was a little bit rough. Columbia obviously know exactly what to play, or how to play against Ottawa when they're on their buys, right? They want to catch them off guard. They want to play fast. And that's exactly what they did. They got the pick inside of B yet again. And, excuse me, they didn't even get a pick. They just dashed right on. I guess they know that on the side of Ottawa, they don't play a member inside the B. They use it a bit more like the early EU teams. They use it as a rotation point. So they just went right on and used the Sova ultimate to deny anyone coming back in through A main and pushed right through it. Bad timing for the breach. But whatever the case, I mean, eventually you just have to get lucky sometimes. And that's not how you start.
Yeah, you can see they were being pretty aggressive, and you know what? I don't blame them. I mean, unfortunately, they are going down 5-0 right now, so you might as well pull out all the stops and, you know, just kind of go aggro here on the offense during the eco round. And take a look at that. Aru tried to send out all the blades, couldn't land their shot, and now they will go down. As Columbia College continue to hold onto the C site, now only one player remains. It's going to be Flo, with only a Sheriff in hand and a Dream, and also a really nice skin. I have the same skin, as they will be eliminated. And now Columbia College get to enjoy a 6-0 lead.
Well, yeah, you know what? I didn't really expect the same result as we had last week, where we had some quite one-sided games, if I must say so myself. But this one is definitely looking like Columbia have Ottawa's name right now, because 6-0, 3 ultimates on the board. There might be 2 very impactful ones on the side of Ottawa, but so far they haven't gotten a chance to use them because of how fast Columbia has been going. They have been in the site by approximately 10 seconds per round. It definitely depends, but so far they have done very, very well just getting this opening kill or getting past the first line of defense on anyone on the side of Ottawa. But now they're running into the Sova and potentially the breach on the other end of things, so this one might be a little bit more tough.
Well, let's see if they can make anything happen. Ottawa have to come up huge. If they want to try and make a comeback, now is a great place to start. As you can see, it's going to be a full push onto the C site, and now here we go. This seems like a much better play coming from Ottawa, as they're going to allow the spike to be planted and simply play for retake, as you should on Haven, as the spike now taking away. Take a look at this. Aru from up on high has the op, but they get smoked out.
Wait, they only had one shock dart. They didn't have the second shock dart to break the KCAC oil, so 2 people get detained. There's gonna be a fast retake happening right now. The Jet does get a kill though, and a couple going in the favor of Columbia, and this could be an absolute disaster. Ottawa, they need to secure these frags somehow, but it's all up to the Jet. Aru can't find more than a single shot. And it's not even going to land. The Omen closes it out, and Calvin secures Columbia the 7th.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy an op on a Jet, but the only problem is, at least in my opinion, is that, you know, op on the Jet is really good for pre-plant, but, you know, if you're going into the post-plant trying to get a retake with, you know, with Jet and op and a Dream, you know, that's no easy feat. And unfortunately, when you're going up against Columbia College, it gets even more difficult, as now they enjoy a 7-0 lead, and they are looking nigh unstoppable.
And this one's definitely going to be tough. The Killjoy getting so much value in that previous round and still not being able to secure it. There is another pick, and yeah, 2 in a row. Make that 3. Yeah, it was an eco from Ottawa, and they had to throw whatever they can, and so far, the Jets able to land a couple nice headshots onto 2 members of Columbia, and again, forcing rebuys. But at this point, come on, rebuys is not your priority. You have to start winning rounds if you're Ottawa right now. You're going to go for another buy round. Full rifles yet again. Those were your knives, or excuse me, actually, no, that was just a deagle. So great shots by Aru in this round. But this is definitely looking a little bit rough. You know, it is Haven. It is slightly attacker-sided. You can say that. But 8 in a row, especially the way Columbia has been winning, it's a bit more decisive than just playing off the map advantage.
The only way we'll find out for sure is if we get to see Ottawa University going towards the offensive side of the spike with a couple of more round wins in their pocket. And, you know, they can still close out this half pretty confidently. I mean, an 8-4 split, not bad at all. Android now going to be setting up behind boxes, has an opportunity, does wait for the swing, and at least are able to get one in the trade. As you can see, the Rolling Thunder does go out, and it forces Columbia College off the C site. Now it's going to be a rotation. Once again, looks like it's headed right back towards B main, as that lockdown is going to keep the rest of Ottawa University at bay as they try and force their way in, but they're getting gunned down at the door. Columbia College have taken full control of the B site.
2-on-3 for the retake. Stun coming out from Germsy as well. He's going to catch one. Excuse me, not quite. Aru manages to be the savior for the time being, but can he do enough? So far, he has been the run to make 2 of these rounds look doable, and he's been taken out. 1-on-1 now for Legend. And he's got the back turn of Sova, but he knows he just has to play his life. He just has to live and delay for as long as he possibly can. With the shorty now, but long range. Beautiful by the Sova on Ottawa to play that distance. Doesn't know that he has a shorty, but whatever the case, he wants to just wait for a mistake, and that is the first one that Columbia have made.
Yeah, I don't think that they had to do that. I think they just kind of wanted to. Or maybe they wanted a little bit of style points on that, because what are the odds that you're gonna get shot midair, you know, by a guard? That was a Guardian, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so what are the odds they're gonna land that head click? And don't get me wrong, that was impressive to just get the one tap on the dome piece during a jump shot. I understand where the thought was coming from, but again, I think you just underestimated the power that came from Ottawa University there, and they paid the price for it. Now, Ottawa University, they get their first round win here on Haven.
Oh, Soval coming out immediately as well. That's a pick. Oh, excuse me. I thought that was the Hunter's Fury, but it ends up being so, as it's a trade across the map. 1 on C, 1 on A. Killjoy goes down for the offense, but so far, is it going to matter? I'm not sure, because the defending one has pushed all the way out of garage. Pick coming on the actual C site, and that's removed the single defender that was there in the first place. And look at the logistics of this round. Android has no idea the breach is in window. Is he going to get caught? Yes. Great shot coming out from Drimsy. And Legend still in the spawn. Spike planted on this C site. What are they going to do?
Well, right now, it just looks like Shadow Monarch is just going to click heads. That's what they're going to do. But for the most part, that was a really good play coming from Columbia College. Don't get me wrong, all the action was going on to C. You know, that's where they were bringing the spike. That's where the spike was planted. Everything else in between. But what was really interesting is the mid push that came from Ottawa University. They literally led them in and then just simply rotated around them, so that way when they were trying to make their rotation back towards C site, Columbia College just picked them out in rotation. It was kind of, you know, almost a bait and switch coming from Columbia College. They brought all that focus in towards mid, and then Ottawa University had to double back just to play spike and got picked out one by one. Columbia College now 9-1 over Ottawa University here in the first half.
And they are still not slowing down on the C site. Yet again, like I said, 10 seconds into the round, and Shadow Monarch is taking complete control of C. There's a trade with the Killjoy yet again getting aggressive. And Monarch has been caught out in the spawn smoke blind. They know that he could possibly be in here, so they have to be careful on the side of Ottawa. But 3 members strong on this retake, and leave that only 3 members as they try to trade outside of spawn. And finally an advantage coming out from Ottawa. Dinger playing around the default box as this breach from Columbia tries to come around as well, but hiding around the corner. Faster reaction times for the Sova on the defense. Ottawa get their second round.
Yep, and good kudos team points there. coming from the Jet, making sure that Dinger is able to get at least one ult point for that. Getting them that much closer back to their Hunter's Fury, and now Ottawa University at 2-round wins. You know, if they keep this up, if they are able to go into the next round with as much vigor, they very well could go into the second half at a 9-3 curse. Who doesn't love that?
Honestly, I would believe in them at that point. That would be a chance. Because Ottawa, so far, I think, based on what I've seen, their aim is kind of on, right? Aru's landed some nice shots, and the KJ has as well. So they can definitely shoot back when it comes to it. And Columbia, they've just been playing fast, right? They just go for rushes every single time. And right now, it's looking to be a C rush yet again. But this time, we have the Killjoy sitting on the other side of things. And he's been one of the ones that has been able to stymie the aggression so far. And he gets one! And the Breach is able to help him out inside to be able to get a second before they can completely overtake the site. So a little bit of delay. Good flash to prepare them as well to let the rest of his team rotate in, and they're doing so from behind. The Omen's gonna know about it.
Well, here it comes. Out goes the Paranoia, and the swing gets shut down. Now only Legend remains, and it should be only a matter of time as the swing goes out, the Sova goes down, and we're going into the second half with a 9-3 split.
This has become so doable for Ottawa at this point. They've woken up towards the end of the first half. It might have taken them some time to warm up, but they figured them out so far. But this time, they're going to have to go on the offense, right? Are they going to have the same pace as Columbia has? That is going to be the question, because Columbia, they have been just going fast. They have rushed every single round. Ottawa, it took them a second to get as aggressive as Columbia, but they met them at the doorstep the last couple rounds, and that is what led to success towards the end of that half. And now they're the ones that are going to have the onus to go for that aggression, and they're going to be running into the Omen right now, and all this guy has for delay is a Paranoia, but it's good that he's bought that. No teleports, so he can't be on top of some weird box or anything like that, but he's going to help out the rest of his team with a mid push. Paranoia going through, but no, he hears the rush potential from C, knows the smokes are coming down, so he has to put one down of his own.
And take a look. There goes the recon dart. Not able to get the ping on this Omen, though. As now the Paranoia goes out. Huge blind. Ooh. But the blind fire through the smoke does connect on not one, but two players from the side of Columbia College. And now Ottawa University have a huge advantage going on towards the C site. But look at this. Jet able to get an elimination there in the rotation. And now another off of the two-player swing. And just like that is now 3v1 in the favor of Columbia College. They played that retake beautifully. Is now Flow with only 3 health to their name is all that remains until they are no more. Columbia College with an impressive first round win here of the second half.
KJ's on both sides is landing some immense shots. Carnage living up to his name there, taking 2 heads. Columbia up to 10. That is an absolute disaster. I think Ottawa needed that pistol round if they wanted a chance in the second half. And I was going to say the saving grace for the breach there at the end was their opponents were all at about 3 HP as well, but all he needs is one bullet. One guy on Columbia needed to land a single shot, and they did just that. So nice try by Ottawa. At least they were able to get the plant down. So there's a chance for a bit of a heavier buy. They have 2 sheriffs and a marshal, maybe able to team up for some body shots. And I think Flo's even going to fully invest in a rifle here. That's going to be quite interesting to see if he can get a pick. But they're going to go for the same play straight up towards that C. They wanted to catch the jump peak, and they end up landing some shots. But Calvin's able to get out alive, throw a Paranoia for his reach to come back in, and the push has completely been stopped, except for the fact that they caught him out with a stun.
Yeah, and it was a good stun because it came in literally at the right moment. Meanwhile, the breach with the Marshal able to land an impressive shot. And you know what? They've been landing their shots too, even on the Omen through the wall banks, through boxes. They still landed a couple of shots. It wasn't enough to confirm, but the fact that those shots landed at all, nothing short of impressive. Is now Carnage is able to find one, looking to get another here. There goes the 2-player swing. Not much doing. They have to bring out the Ghost now, and are eventually gunned down. Now we have ourselves a 2v2.
This is interesting. Ravage is very, very low. And the defenders are playing a 1-1 setup, split across the map, so whatever happens, there are going to be 1 versus 1s across for whoever. In fact, even for Ottawa, because they've split up as well. Ravage is going off and poking and prodding, doing his own little thing through this garage, and they know he's there because he made a little bit of noise. This breach is going to think otherwise, maybe before going straight through, but he's going to clear his own angles. Yeah, Calvin's just going to sneak right on by, and this could be a disaster, but somehow the breach blocks the shots for the Astra. And now we've got a situation where Columbia, they know where the 2 members of Ottawa are. They're teamed up right outside this garage position. And Monarch's going to have to cross through both of them. to get to the site. The Astra's gonna pull out the smokes. Oh, this could be another one for Columbia because he's gone past. And the footsteps are gonna be heard. Smoke down, but he can't defuse the entire thing. And surely Ravage must know. Gonna come around the corner. The shots barely miss, but the time is ticking, and all he needs to do is live, and he's done just that. Good enough for the round. And somehow Ottawa stay alive.
Yep, you know what they say in Valorant, you know, especially in Valorant proverbs, is that we take those. And you know what? I think Ottawa is definitely going to take that one. It was a costly win, but it was a win nonetheless, and they still should get the advantage there with the bye going into the next round. Now getting ready to head into round 15. Still, Ottawa University clearly making a little bit of a comeback so far here in the second half. They're definitely starting with the right foot forward. Columbia College, though, still with an impressive lead of 6 rounds.
Definitely don't want to count them out. 3 sheriffs on the KJ, the Jet, and the Breach. And we know how well they can shoot considering the fact that they have 10 rounds. Definitely don't want to leave anything to chance. Another fast C. But the thing is, the defense is walking up mid. Can the KJ get any more than 1? Make that an absolute yes. He's been taken down very, very low, and they know about it as well. So I think he might be the priority target for the side of Columbia. But the thing is, Ottawa, they know this. They're going to send everyone back towards him. But the thing is, the Sova, remember, he's still got one of those guns as well. Upgraded sidearm. Android going for a bit of a risk there with the peak, but he's able to secure the plant for the rest of his team. Don't think he wants to go too far forward and give up a weapon.
Oh, lordy, lordy. Watch out for the shorty.
Oh, no.
Coming from Calvin, able to find a 2-piece. And all of a sudden, this match has got turned on its head. Only 1 player remains. They have only 4 health. They're able to find 1, but can't get the 3rd. My goodness, that has got to be one of the gnarliest drifty rounds I think I've seen here so far on KCAC. That was insane. It was the Omen with the shorty. I'm sorry. That is what saved the day for Columbia College in that last round. Again, you have just got to watch out for that absolute monster of a weapon. A little half shotgun, but still can do so much damage.
I'm actually shocked that he got 2 there. I don't know how he got the second guy, but I'm pretty sure the KJ must have lit him up as well. Because in between those 2 shorty kills, there was a kill coming out from the Killjoy. So Columbia, just everyone tagging along with those lesser weapons to be able to secure that round. And it's just back and forth in the second half. I was going to say Ottawa have a massive advantage because it's actually better to win the second round after losing the first than to just win the pistol and bonus anyways. But now, Columbia, they're not showing any mercy. They know this C site has been hit multiple different times. And Ottawa, how much can they hold? Not much. The Astra's going to get 1, but they've lost their smokes, and Columbia are going to be up a man. And the spike is in their hands as well.
Oh no, it's not looking good for Ottawa, but after that trade coming from Dinger, able to get a 2-piece for the cost of 1, and now the Hunter's Fury connects as well, and Dinger literally being the hero for Ottawa University, as it is a 2v1, but Spike is still in the possession of Columbia College.
This is the most weird round that I have witnessed in a very long time. Even stranger than the round where we had 2 defenders walking down B while the Killjoy was sitting right outside grass. Because look at this! Blow was on the A site while his teammate was attempting to retrieve the orb from long C. All he's got is a sheriff. No upgraded weapon, and he has to do it with that. Carnage knows exactly where he's coming from. Can't even have time to wrap all the way around. And now the shot's coming out. Carnage is doing damage too. How the heck can he even get through?
Yeah, not to mention this KJ has full utility as well.
Headshot.
If they choose to use it. Nice shots through the box, and they're able to come in clutch to put Columbia College onto match point. And Ottawa University have their backs up against the wall as we head into round 17.
Whoa, well, that could not have gone any better and worse, and then worse than that at the same time. It's so strange how these rounds are playing out, but the aggression down long. See Columbia making the great read, and then Ottawa somehow landing the flank up long C. Yeah, this is the weirdest game I've seen in a while, but they have to force, so they're going to go for a couple Guardians. And this is going to be the most normal round that we've seen so far, other than the fact that Columbia triple stack C. We've got a default across the map from Ottawa. They're looking towards this B site, and the defense knows about it, and they just land every single headshot they go for. The breach is up close and personal with a shotgun. I'm not sure if the defense knows about it, and they don't. 2 kills pulled right back. And the logistics, again, of this round are so strange. Carnage is pushing up this long A. They're able to get the plant down on this B site. And these guys can't go any farther forward. And even the Killjoy is going back towards this A site, wanting to go, I think, lockdown of his own, and he's going to do just that, force everyone off of the site, perhaps into the rest of his team. The Omen is waiting outside this garage, and Jet inside it. What can they do to land these shots? And they've got the first one. Oh! That is unreal!
Comes from the side with 2, able to get a 3rd thanks to the lockdown. My goodness, look at Dinger, though, being a very, very sneaky Sova, coming from back round, but will be eliminated, giving more than enough time for Columbia College to get the defuse and the win here on Haven.
A very swift first map, 13-4. Mind you guys, I'm pretty sure everyone in the audience kind of knows that we started a bit late, but these guys with that map win, they have put us back on schedule. It's 9 p.m. and we've got another potential 2 maps on the docket at Soka.
Oh, absolutely, and I can't wait to get into them. First of all, just because Haven is Haven and Columbia College just absolutely popped off. But with that being said, I want to know how Columbia College will perform going onto a different map. Are we going to see different compositions? There's just so many variables that can lead from one match to another. And the Ottawa Braves, again, they didn't show their best there in game number 1. But I know, you know, and everybody watching knows that they can bring better. They can do better. So again, I'm not sleeping on them just yet. We could very well find ourselves in a game 3.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully we will. And given the map bans, which I actually got wrong in the pre-show, by the way, they're not, I don't think we're going to be playing Pearl, we're going to be playing Breeze, which is one of the newest maps in the pool. I say new, it's been reworked, so technically it's been here before, but given the massive magnitude of the changes, the fact that mid, you can't cross anymore, if you're on defense, you can't go through the hallway, there's a lot of stuff that's new, so virtually it's an entirely new map. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play it. It was picked by, if I'm correct, Ottawa, so they're going to have the advantage going into this matchup. So I'm super excited to see what they've got to bring out, but we're going to have to wait until a short break before we come back to see that map. But for the time being, we're going to let you guys go for just a few minutes as we get this next map set up, excuse me. And yeah, we'll be right back. Back with week 3 of the KCAC after the first swift little matchup on Haven, where Columbia College took that very decisively as we go on to the second one in terms of Breeze, one of the newer maps, as I mentioned before the break happened. But Ahsoka, this is going to be an interesting one because we haven't seen this played in quite a while. And of course, in the KCAC, we haven't seen this at all. So, any expectations going on to this one, especially considering it's Ottawa's pick?
Well, yes, I do have a little bit of expectations because I have gotten to see it in competitive play a little bit during another event. But with that being said, you know, I was seeing a lot of double controller comps, not a big shock there, not a big surprise, but also a good use of Cypher. If you get yourself a good Cypher, or even a KJ, but the main point that I'm trying to make is that you have got to lock down C one way or the other. And I've seen players try and use Viper to lock down the C site, and it was not working. I mean, maybe it worked before. I don't think it's gonna work now. So honestly, you need to get yourself a good KJ, even a good Cypher. I love watching Cypher go to work on Breeze. So by all means, get yourself somebody that can lock down that C site, and then you can use your Viper and put them over on A. I think Viper needs to be on A. I think that is a great place for them. Also, I would not mind seeing a double controller comp. You can go Viper, and you know, I've also seen the pair of Viper and Harbor on this map. I will admit, though, it's not my favorite comp. I would much rather see a Brim along with that, but you know, that remains up to the players. This is just a little captain's analysis here. You know, you could take it for however you like. I'm just saying, from my perspective, this is what I've seen. These are my expectations, and honestly, I'm really excited because I love all of the reworks that they made on Breeze. I have zero complaints.
Yeah, likewise. I think before, it's just such a wide open map, right? Mid was such a weird place to take. Like, as a defender, you have 2 places to watch, but as an attacker, you also have 2 places to watch. You have to watch halls, you have to watch tons, and then you could get swung at by door as well. And obviously now the door is still an option, but as an attacker, you have a lot more options for yourself. You can go up the wall if you want to peek the left side, or you can peek top mid from it, and now you're safe from that until you decide to actually commit to it. But at the same time, for the defender, you can put one single Viper wall down mid, and then you've kind of solved the problem until the attackers decide to use utility through it. So there's kind of an ebb and flow in terms of the playstyles, but I completely agree with you. I completely love the rework to it. I love playing it as well, which is something that I definitely could not say for the old Breeze. I absolutely hated playing on it. It was like, you just took aim duels everywhere, and yeah, we know it's ranked, right? You don't really have too much competition there, but yeah, nowadays I feel like there's actually something to it, right? You have to slow take mid. You can't just rush to the mains because they're just not as big anymore. This is not possible. So with that said, I'm wondering what the depth of gameplay here we're gonna see, because Ottawa is, again, the team that picked it, and Columbia, I don't even think that we have some insider information. We might not even see them having practiced it. I'm not entirely sure, but for the time being, yeah, it should be Ottawa with the advantage going to this map. I'm agreeing with you again. I'm gonna be expecting something like a double controller, maybe a Viper Omen. I've seen that a couple of times, but the Reyna, this one, I think, honestly, on this map more than any other, might make the most sense considering how wide open it still is, even after the reworks. The flash working at an infinite range is probably one of the most useful things in her kits. And this one's a little bit interesting, though. This Yoru, we've seen it on maps like Pearl before, and on Breeze, perhaps a similar idea, able to make those rotations very, very fast. But with that said, because there is a double duelist, we're only going to see one controller, and it is going to be that solo Viper.
That's a triple duelist you're seeing over there. There's a Yoda.
There's also a Raze.
That is a triple duelist comp. That is a very confident composition. I dig it. And don't get me wrong, like I like the KO pick as well. KO was a viable initiator for old Breeze, so it only makes sense to see them in new Breeze as well. But with that being said, you know, you're taking a look at Columbia College, and they're hovering over the Chamber pick. I'm not mad at going with a Sentinel, but Chamber's going to be interesting. It did work definitely on old Breeze, but at the same time, that was old Chamber. So again, this is going to be interesting to say the least, but at least it's a little bit more balanced where they're going to go with the double duelist instead of just stacking 3 duelists on the side of Ottawa. I mean, again, they're the ones in the game. They know better than I just hope that it works out for them, because again, that is a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, I think the theory of it is you have like the Ethan style of Yoru where you play kind of a support Yoru, kind of a semi-initiator. Because like the chamber is like half duelist, right? You could kind of say the same about the Yoru. You can get information with his ultimate. You can have flashes that you can't see until they land on a wall. So there's a couple things there that could be pretty useful. And of course you've got the teleport, which is obviously really nice on a map. Like you mentioned, it looks a bit more normal, right? It makes a little bit more sense. The chamber being a pseudo duelist, so you have that ability to go for a bit more aggressive play and teleport out if you want to. You have the actual double duelist with the jet, with the dive, and the Reyna with the flashes that I mentioned before. The Sova for the initiation, which we saw a lot with the KO on pre rework Breeze, and then solo Viper yet again, which is again the staple on this map. Neither team going for a double controller, but Colombia, they're going to be the ones on the front seat at this point because they are the ones on the attack, and they're looking like that they just want to go right into this B site just like they wanted to on Haven.
Yeah, you know, and this is something that I was talking about prior. You know, they stuck Viper there by themselves. Viper is great. Viper's my favorite agent, but I just don't see them holding the C site or holding B site on Breeze by themselves. It doesn't happen. It didn't happen over the weekend. It's not happening now. If you're gonna stick Viper on to C and have them play lockdown, you've got to have somebody there with them. You have to double stack C if that's the case. As much as I love Viper, they're not going to be that sentinel role that you want. They're not going to be able to lock down C site by themselves, and you can't expect that. You can't put all of that on your Viper.
I agree. It's not like ranked, right, where you have attacking teams that are like super hesitant. They don't know how to play Breeze yet, so they're just sitting outside the mains, just waiting for someone else to make a move. No, you're going to be decisive if you're Colombia, right? We saw the same thing on Haven. They were literally in sights by 10 seconds, and at this point, because the sites are closer to the attacker barriers, they're in sight by like 4. So here we go again, another attempted aggressive play from the defense. They want to try and catch them off guard, and this time it doesn't work because the chamber has so much survivability, and even more so, teleports out, does some more damage onto Aru, and they're already on this B side. I mean, the spike's been planted for a little while, and all of a sudden it's only Aru left standing. Can he land even a single kill? Yes, he can, but he needs to land the reload, and one bullet is not going to be enough. Doesn't even get the chance to fire it as it gets flanked by the opposing Reyna. That's 2 rounds already for Colombia.
Yep, that it is. But at the same time, it is somewhat to be expected. You know, you win the pistol round, you get the advantage going into the second round, and then yada, yada, yada. Now we get to go into the bonus round, which, keep in mind, on Haven, Columbia College won their bonus round. So it can happen again. The only question is, on Ottawa's map pick, on Breeze, can they stop Columbia from getting the bonus round again?
I think, honestly, what Ottawa needs to do is just stall. They need to just put the Viper Molly down as soon as the round starts. Look at Columbia. The jet is in sight already. Yeah, it's 8 seconds. 8 seconds and he is on, and nothing has been there to stop him. There is execute mollies on the side of Columbia to help the jets. And now the Yoru clone, he's not going to shoot it, is he? Well, he's just going to look away, and it's going to be all good until the wall drops. Maybe not expecting that, but there is a kill taken back by the other Reyna. And speaking of, traded right back in return by Ravage, and he even wants to spam through the box to find that next. Is able to get a couple shots on, but not able to secure the kill as the KO tries to do just that, but he gets flanked as well. And look at Legend just playing around the site. This is his domain until he gets shut down, but it is a 1-on-2. Calvin is still on the site, and yet again, he has no idea where anyone is. They are playing ring around the rosy with each other, one at a time. Gets the pre-fire in the player that's been pinged out, and now low HP. The Viper is about half. Ottawa need to win this round, and it's just not going to happen again. Another bonus going towards Columbia.
Yeah, that honestly, that's just straight up disrespectful. I mean, you're coming in the Breeze. It isn't even your map pick, and yet you're able to clutch up 2 back-to-back games and get the bonus round. And not only that, but it was a full swing on towards that B site. They didn't hesitate, like you had mentioned earlier. This isn't a ranked game. They're not going to hesitate, and they certainly did not. Columbia College just ran completely through the B site and then took it with some authority, and then they were just able to get a couple of cheeky picks, and honestly just getting 1 pick will put a Vandal in the hands of Columbia College, and that was really all they needed.
Oh, well, I mean, it's that kind of attitude, right? You just got to find something at this point where nothing else is working. You just have to try and get a kill, and it's just, yes, they've got 1, but you throw Hail Marys at the wall even with rifles and it still doesn't work out, and you got to wonder what else can you do. Right, because at the end of the day, we all know what Bren said. that one point. We've all watched the clip. You get shot, you die. And so far, that is what Colombia has been doing so well. They are shooting Ottawa in the head, and there has been no answers.
One thing that I just really love about the rework is that when we went back over towards A, you know, and the tunnel is still there. It's still there. It's just like under construction. You know, it's blocked off. You know,
it went backwards in time.
Yeah, they're doing something, or forward. We don't know. Well, all we know is that it is under construction, renovations, whatever it is. It's just funny to me because they didn't fully get rid of it. The tunnel's still there. It's just no longer accessible. And I don't know. I just think that's fun.
Oh!
But what else is fun? Look at this Jet getting an instant head click on that poor Viper trying to hold C again. Or B, sorry.
That's not fair. It's actually not fair. They're trying to pull it back. Aru needs to do everything for his team right now. So far, he's the only one that's done anything. In this round, at least. But there's a fast flank. At least Ottawa have read into the fact that Colombia just go for all-ins every single round. They're going for these fast flanks on the back. But now 2 of them are here. And what more can they do to get back into the site? Because now they're the attackers. They're the ones that have to break through. There's a molly going to the corner, but the Viper swings! And the double kill from both these attackers still on the site. Oh my goodness, the tracking even coming out from Legend. And he wants to show what for. 5-0 for Columbia College.
Legend just made me a little bit nervous. I mean, aiming in from that close, like, I get it, you know, you're aiming down tunnel, you want to hold the sight line. Okay, then yeah, by all means, go ahead and aim down sight all you want. But then the jump packs came out, and they did not give up on that ADS. They stuck it, they tracked, and they managed to hit their target. I mean, that's impressive, because more often than not, you'll see somebody drop the ADS, fire from the hip, and then still get their shot. But, I mean, Legend was just confident in their shot placements, and sure enough, they managed to click heads, and they managed to get the elims. And now, Columbia College just riding a wave of momentum that they started on Haven, now here on Breeze. And now, just like that, you could see Jet gonna be able to come through with another elim. That's a 3K already, just by popping the Blade Storm. And once again, just steamrolling over towards B. At this point, you gotta ask yourself, should they at least 3-stack B? Have one towards tunnel. By all means, put one towards tunnel, one towards mid, 2 on C. Or B, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep considering this. I keep thinking of this as a 3-site map. I don't know why, but it's just ingrained into my mind. But it's just, Columbia College, they just take B every single time.
I think there has been one single attack round that has gone towards that A site. And maybe that is what is causing Ottawa to be a little bit scared. But right now, it's definitely the case where B site is the weaker site. Even with the flash being shot, even with these kills coming, I mean, this is nice shots from Aru. But the molly on the spike is going to confirm the round. There's nothing that Aru can do. He's already been taken down solo, and Legend just needs a spam shot to land. And neither of them are going to get the kill, but Columbia will still get the round.
And again, that was fantastic, just seeing Legend work on the post plant there. All they had to do was buy enough time, and then it was the combination, of course, of the orb and the molly that managed to put an into auto before they can even try and attempt to defuse. And again, just a really good job of buying the time. They had to force the rotation from Ottawa University going towards the back instead of coming through the tunnel, and that just took too much time. And by the time that they actually made it on the site, the spike was too far gone, and that's just another win going to Columbia College. As once again, Ottawa looks like they're forced into an econ round with a hero Vandal, and let's see what they can make of it.
Good start. Scouting by that Yoru. Once again, like I mentioned, being that initiator for the team. And the first time in a while, Ottawa get an entry kill. And how much more can they find? Look at that pop flash. He's got one with the weaker weapon, so that one is a death that you can't expend. At the plant, trying to come down, but not quite getting confirmed. The Jet's just going for kills. And so far it's working because there was an attempt to stop it from that Yoru on the defense, and another one stymied. That Viper trying to go for something, anything, and Aru is the one that's getting everything once again. Heal getting cut, and now he's the only one left. No more in his pocket, not even an ultimate. No Empress, no crown. But can he find any gems on the other end of this Viper's wall? It's gonna drop, and he's gonna find 2 targets. How smart from the side of Columbia to do just that. And it is the duelist on their side that's gonna end up taking the cake.
And that's why Viper is so viable on Breeze. Like, you go towards the A site, and it is a lot wider open than on B. There's a lot of area, open area, to just trade out and land shots. All of a sudden, with that Viper's wall and then the Viper's pit, that area becomes a lot smaller and a lot harder to retake. So again, just seeing Viper, you know, on one of their best maps go to work is just so much fun. And you know what? Brings back good memories. I gotta tell you.
What has happened here? That one's, I mean, whatever works, you know? Whatever works for either side. But so far, Colombia is the one that's having more success. Gotta admit, that one's an interesting decision. But let's see if it lands. Because there's going to be a fight here between the Viper and the Jet. And Aru spots out ahead. How much? What's the timing like? Because he's going further. He wants even more. And he's going to miss the first shot. And it's punished. And just in a flash, it is a 1 versus 4.
Spike planted.
Well, here we are into the post plant 1v4. Carnage thinks they might have a read. There it is, and that will be the final elimination with the tour de force. Kind of interesting that they chose to break it out during an eco round, but you know, it's Carnage's op. They can use it whenever they want, I suppose.
Yeah, he thinks he can get it back sooner rather than later, and honestly, it's only 4 rounds left, so we'll see if it ends up happening, but definitely confident in his aim, and even if not his own aim, everyone else is on his team, because they are deja vu, right? Same kind of thing as last time on Haven. This is literally the same scoreline. The unfortunate part is I don't know if we can say the same about the map, because Haven being 3-sided is going to favor the attack just naturally, but this one, I think with the reworks, is definitely a little bit better for the defense. But Colombia are just not carrying they don't even know what that means. Right into the site, Ravage, trigger discipline, and he's got one. His teammate across the map also securing another, but this op needs to chime in, needs to get a kill. He's going to swing a little bit wider, and the Sova knows better than to peek that dry, backs off, and goes right back towards that A site, which has been completely vacated from the side of Ottawa.
Oh yeah, the rotation is underway, and they're going all the way back to A site. Viper wall already there too. So by the time they make the rotation all the way there, you know, the utility is already in the perfect placement. Meanwhile, the op does pay off for Ravage as they are able to find at least one elimination in transition. Now Flo just enjoying the sights, enjoying the beach.
He's having some fun over here, isn't he? Oh god, if he was looking mid, he could actually catch the Reyna off guard here. But you know what? I guess you take what you can get, and so far, that one's not one of them. All the way in the back. The thing is, that blunder might have been the round because Sova has the Hunter's Fury. There it goes. It's going to get popped after that first tag and the first kill, though, in favor of the Viper on the defense. That might matter because the stick is coming through. Aru is just on that, and Calvin is so low on HP. Doesn't matter. Off shot's going to land anyways.
And that was a much needed thrifty round from the side of Ottawa University. And it started by just, you know, the Viper getting that early elimination on the Jet and getting the op. That is when everything changed, when they managed to get the op off of that first elimination. And it just came from a little trigger discipline. You see, the fundamentals go a long way. It's a ripple effect. And now we're heading into round 10. Columbia College still with a tremendous lead.
We survived.
Another mountain climb. At least this one a little bit easier, hopefully for them. Starts out with a flash shot, and Yoru does get one. A little bit of a bait from the teammate going for that kill. But even still, we'll see what Shadow Monarch can do because we know his aim is on point, but even better is the Viper on the defense. And another one, counter op from Legend on the attack side of Breeze, and they've made their way all over this B site. And Flo only with the shorty has to find a closer angle, but he might just find the perfect one. He's not going to choose to jump up, though. The Sova is going to come around, and he's going to get ventilated. Spike now on the floor, but KO also dropped, and it's a one-on-one. Able to recover the gun is the raise on Ottawa. And still the info given. Android, he's able to give the comms, but it seems like Flo is just taking the bait right now. And it's still, he doesn't need to go, right? He has Spike at his feet. Flo can just wait. And waits and waits. And now the mind games coming out from the Jet on Columbia. Where is he going to go? He has so many options. Could go top mid. Could go back through tons. And it seems like he's going to choose the latter. But now he has also lost track of his opponent. Barrel spotted though. That is a disaster! And that little timing has given the attack of the round once again. 9 on the docket for Colombia.
I gotta tell you, when I often think about the op, I usually don't think about Viper. But I gotta tell you, in this matchup on Breeze, I'm starting to think about Viper a lot on the op because it's really been back and forth between the two. And you know what? I'm all here for it. I love the sniper battles. I'm all down for op on op. But in the hands of a Viper, I didn't know. I was not aware of the meta strategy that is Viper op. But let's see if they can even do more as we are well and underway now into round 11. And already it's going to start off with a quick early elimination. And now Dinger with the judge able to have a little fun and find one elim. And now Shadow Monarch from inside the box, along with the help of Sova, do find another elim. And now it's a 4v2.
Man, he needed more there. He could have, it's so much potential. So much. He could have done at least 2. And maybe get out with the teleport. But even still, let's see what these Viper ops can do. Both of them with one in hand. Legend now pushing forward. He wants to get aggressive with it. He's not even scared. Knows the rest of his team has his back just in case he goes down. There's going to be a combined swing from them all as soon as this Rain of Flash comes out. But it might be the fact that they're waiting for the Viper to spot anything. And Ravage going to dodge out this first Rain of Blind. And the discipline from Colombia is impeccable, but finally they give something up. But it doesn't look like any more mistakes are going to be made, and even, no, it doesn't even matter. The Viper's going to back off. But is he going to be able to get away in time? It's just going to be not quite around the corner. Revenge gets taken down by Legend, and he keeps himself just that 10-1 for Colombia. This is even more convincing than the first map on Haven.
And you know what? That's even more devastating because now, you know, they have to rebuy that op. I mean, that was kind of the point, right? You know, making sure that they can get away, save the op, bring it into the next round. And they do. They still have an op, but now it looks like they are a little short in other areas. You know, you're seeing a lot of half shields. There's at least one Spectre there, so maybe if they were able to save the op, they would be able to buy just a little bit more, but oh, the well. Here we are, last round in the first half, Columbia College on an absolute tear.
Ooh, double pop flash. I mean, they're both actually good flashes, but the unfortunate thing is no one's able to capitalize. So many blinds, and Ottawa are the first to lose a man. Because that Jet, again, every single time he lands, every single headshot that he sees on his screen, there's a kill in return. The Reyna goes down, and there's another trade back and forth, but it's again the Jets just going forward and back, looking for every shot. If he hit that, I would have left my computer. But Colombia this time on the back foot. Ottawa with 3, and the Viper's Pit. Not quite claiming the spike, though, because Legend has that in hand. Now the option to go A, cut off with that Viper's Pit. And he has all the time in the world to play with because of how fast to get onto these sites at the start of the rounds. 50 seconds on the clock. Could go anywhere, could decide to re-exec, but he makes the very fast decision to go towards his B and plants for the best possible spot. He can go spawn, he could go back into B main, and he chooses the former, and he's going to meet some resistance. The Raze is probably going to make his way over here, but he's going to have a 1-on-1.
Well, here we go. We're now into the post plant. And it is going to be a 3-way push coming from the side of Ottawa. And this could be 3 1v1s here as they do come through one, but can't come through with the other. And that is going to be a much-needed round win for Ottawa University going into the second half with a 10-2 split.
Well, it's a little bit harder. Yeah, this, if the last one was a mountain, this one might be Olympus Mons. It's a little bit difficult to believe in Ottawa at this point. 2 rounds on their own map pick, and now on the offense of Breeze, one of the newest maps in the pool, freshly out of the oven. Well, I honestly should say freshly out of carving. It's like you took a pumpkin and you just reworked it. But 210, there is such a cliff in front of them. And it looks like we do have... Oh, no tech pause. We're back in the game. And Ottawa choosing outside this A site. Viper Wall going to be delayed until they know for sure they're going to be hitting. And even past that, he's not going to go for it just yet. He's going to go up this rope with a couple players. I wonder if they actually want to go for something through this vents. They're actually looking through the door. That one's interesting. Usually you see this used in post plant because someone might be trying to retake from the door position. But right now, they're just waiting, again, for any mistakes that Colombia are making.
All right, now you see that's something I hadn't seen yet. I didn't realize that Tubes, formerly known as Tubes, was blocked off, and you can no longer avenue. Is that it's completely blocked off up there?
Yep. You can't go. You can shoot through it. You can throw Sova darts through it. You can do anything through it other than a walk through. You can't TP through it with an Omen, not with a Yoru, no nothing. You can't traverse through it, but you can do anything else. And I guess they were looking for some bullets to send through, but not found.
I see, that's interesting. I gotta say,
it is a dynamic change.
Because again, Tubes was like such an avenue to kind of push them towards the A site. There was a lot of contention there. Again, that's definitely going to change some things up here on Breeze. But here we are going into round 14. Columbia College still doing extraordinarily well, as already you can see Calvin going to find an early two-piece with the Ares. And now it is just a massacre as only one lonely KO remains on the side of Ottawa University.
I think the Yoru is going for a fake clone. Yeah, well, when Columbia just shoot the fake clone anyways, they shoot real clones. You saw the run where they were pushing B and the Jet just shoots the clone and gets one of his teammates killed. They shoot the real clones. Yeah, I don't think the fake clone's gonna work in this instance, and it definitely didn't in that round. But here we're gonna have the last desperation buy coming out from Ottawa. Had to save everything for this final round. With the Rays has the op this time instead of the Viper, which was the case in their last defensive round. But now there is going to be a attack pause coming out from Ottawa University, trying to figure out anything. They need anything that they could do. And obviously the mid strat did not work. They could not go through the tube, which they have to have known. Anyway, yeah, if they played the game, if they practiced Breeze, which I'm pretty sure they have given the fact that it was the map pick, they have to know that. That's one of the reasons why I thought this map was defender-sided at the start, right? Because like you've taken away an entire avenue into the A site, but for Columbia, they just didn't care. They just rushed through A main every single round, and it worked. So the choke points being tighter has not stopped Columbia, and for Ottawa to have any success, it needs to not stop them as well. They have an op, so it's going to be king at challenging these early positions. If you want to peek B main as a defender, you're going to have a bad time. If you want to peek A main, you're probably also going to have a bad time. So we'll see if they can do anything with that. That is going to be one of their only lifelines, other than Aru just maybe going wild and killing absolutely everyone, because he's on the Reyna, right? The snowball potential is there, and they're going to be looking towards the site with only one player. That's the Chamber walking up. Gun shown, so Aru knows, but he spends the TP and plays safe back in sight.
Yep, and there goes another swing, and look at this Chamber finds a 3K. That's how you hold a site, and they get the tour de force to end it out. Wow, Columbia College take Breeze with some authority.
Whoa, I don't know what to say about that one. That is a heck of a beating.
Say, honestly.
Yeah, I think that one's fairly simple, right? Last week we saw 3 rounds won from the side of the losing team, and this week it's a little bit better, right? We have a couple more, but even still, Columbia putting on an absolute masterclass on how to just pug out Breeze, right? Because again, it doesn't look like they had anything too deep. I can't even lie about that. They weren't going for like split pushes or anything. Maybe they sent one person through mid as the rest of them just bum rushed through the mains, like A main, B main, whatever you wanted. They just walked in, and their Jet got kills, their Reyna got kills, and everyone else was able to land the shots when they needed to. Even when the defensive op came out from Ottawa University, you had the Viper on the attack, bring it out as well. And like you mentioned, you don't really think of Viper being the opera, especially when you have a Reyna and a Jet on the team. But if you think a little bit deeper into it, it's not like another smoker, right? We've seen like Omen op before. We've seen Astra op before. And those, no one questions. So why question a Viper, right? You've not only got smokes, but you're actually more hands-off with your smokes than with the other agents. With Omen, you have to put your smokes down. With Astra, you have to put stars down. With Viper, you put your wall down, you put your smoke down, and you can press buttons on your keyboard to activate them while being in your scope. So it's even better, and I'm glad both these teams are reading into that. But in this case, Columbia are just kind of outgunning the entirety of Ottawa and around every single corner. And it honestly looked like past like first 6 rounds on Haven, maybe you thought they had a chance. After that, when Columbia are continuing to just push the aggression, even when Ottawa are trying to beat them back in their face, and they're still winning rounds, that's when you kind of knew at that point Colombia was going to take the day.
Oh, absolutely. And, and the more that we get to see Breeze in a competitive setting, the more the puzzle pieces will fit into place as far as composition, as far as rotations, as far as peak advantages, etc., etc. But, until then, we're just going to have to wait and see how the meta shapes up as the season continues. But speaking of continuing, we're going to be taking a quick short break. And when we come back, we're going to have an interview with one of the players from the matches that we just got to see. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the KCAC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here with one of the winners of this previous matchup. We have Calvin here. Thank you so much for joining us, Calvin.
Thank you. Is that good? Wait,
Yes,
can you guys hear me?
Yes,
no,
hello,
I got
hello.
you.
All right, awesome.
I was just enjoying the big KCAC logo I have on my forehead at the moment. I was enjoying that. It's kind of like a crown. But regardless, getting back to the conversation at hand, y'all had a fantastic game today. And you know what? I got to ask you, how does it feel after coming off such a huge win for your first stream game on the KCAC?
Oh man, it's great. It's good to finally be back and playing in it. I actually missed the first two KCAC games, so playing with my team again. It's just always great to be in it. Yeah, it's fun. It's good.
That's definitely good to hear. I mean, you guys, you know how well of a job you did. You guys absolutely destroyed your opponents. But I mean, what are you guys expecting coming this game, right? Because as you said, it was your first game back. Were you guys thinking that you would completely dominate this matchup, or were you thinking it was going to be a little bit closer?
I know that they were running like some different stuff than they normally do. We're actually playing them in soon in a LAN in about a month. So I know that they didn't want to show a lot of things. We didn't want to show a lot of things either. Just kind of like trying out new stuff against them, just because it was like we don't really want to. It's a feel out, really, just because we have to play them at Red Bull Campus Clutch in a little bit. So that's kind of what we expected going into it. We always expect to win. So.
I mean, that's fair enough. Yeah, you got to believe in yourself, so I respect that. So basically, speaking of new stuff, right? We have Breeze in the map pool now, which I think was a surprise to some of us, especially. I won't get into the details, but even still, we have Breeze, and you guys. I don't know how much practice you guys have on it. Did you think that it was going to be in the map pool? And if you did, if you didn't, I mean, whatever the case, what were your plans going into it? Because it looked like you guys had a decent idea on how you wanted to approach it, but it kind of looked like Haven, where you're just kind of running them down.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that we were really excited about, hearing that Breeze was coming back into our map pool. We just like a lot of us like that map. It's kind of like I hope Icebox is next because I honestly miss that map a lot. But yeah. No, Breeze coming back was really good. We've just kind of like figured out how we want to play it and just stick to our style of play, and Breeze ends up working out pretty well for us. So.
Yeah, you know, again, Icebox, my #1 favorite map in Valorant. Bring it back, bring it better than ever. We need more Icebox. We've already gotten the summer and the breeze. Let's get back to the cold winds. But regardless, I got to tell you, it's been great having you on the desk. It's been great watching you go to work. Again, you guys absolutely popped off. It cannot be denied. I got to ask, is there anybody out there that you want to give some recognition to? Anybody you want to shout out?
Honestly, if I want to shout out anybody, it's definitely my teammates. Those guys, I love those guys. Oh, okay, there they are. Yeah, they love that.
So okay, wait. You guys are so loud that you're blowing out the mic. We can't hear. We didn't hear a single bit of that cheer.
No, yeah. So our new team this year, I love these guys to death. Like they are just This is probably my favorite team I've ever been on. I've been competing for 7 years now, and I just love their energy. As you can tell, they're crazy. But yeah. So yeah, honestly, yeah. That and then our director, Chalkley, is the GOAT. So yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know.
Well, I think that just about wraps things up. Once again, it was great having you here with us. Thank you for joining us on the desk.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys again for casting and everything. It's been great.
Well, I mean, that's definitely a vibe over there. You know, remember what Paper X said and what EG said during the interviews back at LAN? Because like, it's something around like whatever team has the most fun is the team that's going to win. That's kind of like the vibe that we're going with here. They're definitely having a lot of fun over there. You're going to see I kind of wish we could hear what they were cheering about when they were going out and absolutely destroying his chair. But I'm kind of glad that it didn't blow out everyone's ears, because I'm pretty sure that would have been what would have happened if the mic picked that up. But even still, they're having a good time, right? They're having a good time. They've got a good coaching staff behind them as well. It's like he's saying, their director is doing a great job, and that's kind of what you need in the teams to have success. You can't just have 5 players. It's going to be so much harder not having an external voice to be like, when you're heated, tell you guys to cool down. When you're cold, tell you guys to warm up, and just keep the balance in the team and keep it nice and competitive. And
oh, I think Anton froze a little bit there, but to wrap things up for my frozen friend, I just got to say it is once again just been. Wait, are you back, Anton? Do we got you? Oh, there they are. Okay, wonderful.
That is my internet for you.
Well, I think that just about wraps things up for us here at the KCAC for tonight. Once again, we had ourselves some fantastic games, and honestly, I cannot wait to see how the season continues to progress and how the metas will change going forward into the season.